The massive screens at Earth's Global Communication Center lit up unexpectedly one quiet Tuesday morning. Sarah Chen, the lead communications officer, nearly spilled her coffee when she saw the incoming signal's origin. The Galactic Council, a governing body humanity had never even heard of before. "This is an emergency broadcast to all spacefaring civilizations," the message began, transmitted in universal mathematical code. "We face an unprecedented crisis." The alien on screen looked almost plant-like, with bark-textured skin and leaf-like appendages. Its voice translated through Earth's advanced AI systems, carrying notes of desperation that transcended species barriers. "A biological weapon is spreading through the galaxy, destroying worlds faster than we can count. Our best minds have failed to find a solution. We reach out now to all civilizations, even those we once considered too primitive to contact." In the next few hours, Earth's leaders gathered in emergency sessions. The data packets that followed the message painted a grim picture. 3 spiral arms of the galaxy were already affected, with billions of lives lost. The Council's most advanced medical technology proved useless against this engineered plague. Dr. James Rodriguez, Earth's leading epidemiologist, noticed something interesting in the data. "Look at these genetic markers," he pointed out to the assembled scientists. "The pathogen targets specific genetic sequences common to most advanced species. But humans, we're different." The revelation sparked intense discussion. Earth, it turned out, was classified as a death world by galactic standards. Its high gravity, extreme weather patterns, and abundance of pathogens made it seem uninhabitable to most alien species. Humans had evolved in conditions that would kill most sentient beings in the galaxy. "We need to tell them," Sarah said, looking at the gathered world leaders. "We might be their only hope." The response they sent was simple. "Earth responds to your call. We have experience with similar challenges. Preparing aid teams now." The Galactic Council's reply came swiftly, filled with surprise and confusion. They had overlooked humanity precisely because of Earth's harsh conditions. The idea that anyone could survive, let alone develop advanced civilization on such a dangerous planet, had seemed impossible. As news spread across Earth, thousands of doctors, scientists, and emergency responders volunteered. Humanity had faced countless plagues throughout its history. From the Black Death to modern viral outbreaks, each crisis had made them stronger, more resilient. The first human response team assembled at the newly designated Space Force headquarters in Colorado. Their mission would make history. Earth's first official contact with galactic civilization would be as saviors rather than supplicants. As the team prepared for departure, Dr. Rodriguez addressed them with a simple truth. "The galaxy called us primitive because our world made us strong. Now, that same strength might save them all." Project Prometheus began with organized chaos at the newly established Interstellar Disease Control Center. Scientists from every continent worked around the clock, analyzing the alien pathogen data against Earth's extensive database of diseases. Dr. Emily Puttle stood at her workstation, comparing genetic sequences. 3 weeks of nonstop research had revealed something fascinating. "The bioweapon is elegant but predictable," she explained to the international team. "It targets specific genetic patterns common to most spacefaring races, patterns humans don't share." The discovery made sense. Earth's harsh conditions had forced humanity to adapt differently from the galaxy's other civilizations. While most species evolved in stable, controlled environments, humans had survived ice ages, natural disasters, and countless diseases. The Galactic Council's representatives watched in amazement as the human team demonstrated their hazmat protocols. To them, even Earth's basic safety procedures seemed excessive. "Your species regularly handles such dangerous materials?" asked Ambassador Zix, their leaf-like appendages trembling. "This is standard procedure on Earth," Colonel Sarah Martinez explained, checking her team's gear. "We deal with dangerous pathogens all the time. It's part of our medical training." The response team grew to include a diverse group: epidemiologists, military specialists, emergency responders, and medical professionals. They called it Project Prometheus, bringing the gift of survival to the stars. Training involved simulations using Earth's deadliest known viruses. The alien observers were shocked to learn that humans had experience containing diseases with mortality rates that would extinct their species. What terrified other races had become routine for humanity. Your volunteer rates are impossible, Ambassador Zix commented, reviewing the data. Thousands of humans had stepped forward, knowing the risks. Our species would never willingly enter contaminated zones. Dr. James Chen smiled as he packed his medical kit. That's exactly why we need to go. Sometimes the most dangerous path is the only way forward. The team prepared 3 massive hospital ships, converted from cargo vessels. They carried Earth's most advanced medical equipment, along with supplies that seemed primitive to alien eyes: masks, gloves, and basic quarantine materials that had saved countless human lives throughout history. As launch day approached, the Council sent one final message: "We still don't understand why you would risk your lives for species you've never met." The human team's response was simple: "Because that's what healers do. We're coming to help. Please have your people ready." In orbit, the ship's engines hummed to life. Humanity's first interstellar mission would not be about exploration or conquest. It would be about saving lives, just as their ancestors had done countless times before. The human medical ships emerged from faster-than-light travel above Centauri Prime, a world once known for its crystal cities and advanced technology. Now, quarantine beacons circled the planet like artificial stars, warning of the danger below. Dr. Maya Singh led the first team down to the surface. Through her helmet visor, she saw the devastating impact of the bioweapon. The crystalline buildings stood empty, their previous occupants either evacuated or confined to makeshift medical facilities. "This is Sierra Team beginning initial survey," she reported, her voice steady despite the scene before her. "Air samples confirm active pathogen presence. Our suits are holding." The local medical staff watched from behind thick barriers as the human team moved through their facility. To them, the sight of beings willingly walking through contaminated areas seemed impossible. Their own protective systems were failing, but the human hazmat suits, designed for Earth's most dangerous outbreaks, performed flawlessly. "Your people walked directly into death," one alien doctor said through the translator. Their crystalline body structure trembled with fear and awe. "How can you bear it?" Colonel Martinez adjusted her scanner. "On Earth, walking into danger to save others is a tradition. We call it being a first responder." The team worked methodically, gathering samples and treating patients. Their Earth-developed protocols, considered excessive by galactic standards, proved perfect for this crisis. Years of dealing with rapidly mutating viruses had prepared them for exactly this scenario. In the Central Medical Lab, Dr. Singh made a breakthrough. "The infection pattern isn't random," she announced, studying cellular samples. "It's following transmission vectors typical of engineered weapons. This was designed to spread in a specific way." The team tracked the outbreak's progression through the city's population. Unlike natural diseases, this one moved with artificial precision. They found Patient Zero, a trader who had visited all the initially infected worlds. "The good news," Dr. Singh reported to Earth Command, "is that this is definitely artificial. The bad news: someone created this on purpose, and they knew exactly who they wanted to target." The human team continued their work, saving those they could while gathering evidence. Their presence brought hope to a world that had lost it. Local children pressed against windows to watch the strange beings in protective suits who faced death without fear. By the 3rd week, they had stabilized the situation on Centauri Prime. The infection rate dropped, and the first patients began showing signs of recovery. But the question remained: who would create such a weapon, and why target peaceful civilizations? The answer would come from the most unlikely source: Earth's long history of warfare and the human ability to think like their opponents. Lieutenant John Harris studied the recovered data fragments from Centauri Prime's trading records. His military intelligence training spotted patterns that others had missed. The trader who brought the pathogen visited the same research facility on each world, he reported. That's not a coincidence. The facility was listed as an abandoned mining operation in the galactic core. Perfect cover, remote, restricted, and surrounded by radiation that would deter most species. But not humans. We're dealing with purists, Dr. Emily Chen concluded, reviewing the evidence. A group that believes only the strongest species should survive in the galaxy. Their manifesto was hidden in the pathogen's code. The human team prepared for a different kind of mission. Their medical ships, already equipped for hazardous conditions, were perfect for the approach. The Galactic Council called it a suicide mission. The radiation levels around the mining facility would kill most species in minutes. That's the point, Captain Sarah Martinez explained. They chose this location because nobody else could reach them. They didn't count on meeting humans. The approach to the facility proved why Earth's death world status had its advantages. The radiation levels, while high, were comparable to what emergency teams dealt with during nuclear plant maintenance on Earth. The human team's protective gear, designed for such conditions, worked perfectly. The facility's defenders were shocked when alarms showed approaching life forms. Their weapon had no effect on the humans, and their chosen hideout's deadly environment proved merely inconvenient for Earth's troops. Impossible. The facility's leader transmitted. No species can survive these conditions. Lieutenant Harris's voice carried a hint of pride as he responded. We're from Earth. We do this all the time. The Roe faction had never considered a species might evolve on a world harsh enough to prepare them for these conditions. Their entire plan had backfired. They had created a weapon that couldn't harm the very people now coming to stop them. The team secured the facility with tactical precision, using strategies developed through centuries of Earth's conflicts. The defenders surrendered quickly, their supposedly perfect defense undone by humans who treated lethal conditions as merely another day at work. In the facility's labs, they found what they needed: the original pathogen samples and research data that would help develop a cure. The galaxy's nightmare would end, thanks to a species that had evolved on a world that most considered too dangerous for life. Send word to Earth, Captain Martinez ordered. Tell them we found the source. And tell the Council, sometimes the most dangerous world creates the strongest protectors. In the bright laboratories of Earth's new interstellar medical center, Dr. Emily Chen held up a small vial of glowing liquid. 6 months of research had led to this moment. A cure synthesized from modified Earth bacteria. Our planet's organisms evolved to survive almost anything, she explained to the gathered council representatives. We modified helpful bacteria that naturally fight diseases on Earth. What makes our world dangerous also makes it full of solutions. The cure worked better than anyone expected. Within weeks, infected worlds began reporting recoveries. The modified Earth bacteria, which seemed primitive to advanced alien medicines, proved perfectly suited for strengthening alien immune systems. The Galactic Council called an emergency session, but this time not for crisis. They gathered to officially recognize Earth's contribution to galactic civilization. The massive council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Sarah Martinez stepped forward to address them. Earth was classified as a death world because we survived conditions you thought impossible, she said. Those same conditions prepared us to help when you needed us most. Sometimes the greatest strength comes from overcoming the greatest challenges. Requests began pouring in from across the galaxy. Species that once looked down on Earth now sought human expertise in medicine and survival. The planet's classification changed from dangerous primitive world to advanced medical research hub. Research teams from 100 worlds came to study Earth's diverse ecosystem. They found that even Earth's simplest organisms showed remarkable adaptive abilities. What they had once feared as a hostile planet became a treasury of medical knowledge. Dr. James Rodriguez led the new Galactic Health Organization, established on Earth. "We're creating a network of emergency responders," he explained, "teaching other species how to handle crises the way Earth learned to." The first class of alien medical students arrived at Earth's universities, ready to learn how humans had mastered survival in harsh conditions. They were nervous at first about Earth's gravity and atmosphere, but their human teachers helped them adapt. As Earth celebrated its new role in the galaxy, a simple monument was erected outside the Interstellar Medical Center. It showed a human hand reaching out to help others rise. Below it, written in both Earth languages and galactic standard, were the words, "From the harshest world came the strongest healers." The galaxy had called for help, and the Deathworlders had answered. Earth's greatest challenge had become its greatest gift to the stars.